amendments, regulatory bodies, like initiations by government, and ancient education system, and we have to learn about Vedas, Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharvana Vedas, uh, and the education, evolution of education from ancient education, and then post-independent, pre-independence education or British education, and then post-independence education, education policies, um, uh, apex bodies like uh, AICTE, UGC, universities, colleges, deemed to be universities, and then gross enrollment ratios. We have to learn more. Since we are in higher education, we already experienced with this higher education system knowledge, so it will be easier for us to understand the basics. So we'll start with teaching aptitude. We all know that Indian education system is the third largest in terms of students, next to China and United States. The gross enrollment ratio, we have seen that now the government NEP, there is a new NEP policy announced that students can be admitted two times per year. They have announced, and also multiple entry, multiple exit options. Then another important factor they have mentioned in as new initiative that yes, if any university or college that does not follow national education policy will not be recognized. That's the one thing that government UGC issued an order. First, we will start with ancient education system. So in normal here in our education system, that state education is in concurrent list. Education is in concurrent list of Indian education system, which means that both state government and the union government can make policies and have share the both the governments sharing their rights on education system. So if university is established, state government is the one that funding for its infrastructure, salary, and scholarships, and everything for university established by state. And there are central universities established by central government. So the union government is actually does not provide any funding to universities or state governments. They make policies regarding education system. So that education system is applicable, that should be applicable to all states of India. Like we have seen from the past, from NEET examination to NET examination. And then there is another examination that will come for college education. They have to write students have to write another entrance examination. So it's a policy that government makes to make education as they want to improve the quality of education. So we will start with during this study you will find that there is many text that might not you approve or that might not you consider as true, because I have collected notes from government books and from NCERT, and then some from some online portals. These text you find in this notes are completely collected and best of my knowledge. So if you find anything that text on this notes, uh, please be open-minded because it involves from ancient education, and it also involves caste system regarding what happened in Gurukula and whatever comes with. So just don't get offended if you find it is not good for you. I said that it is text from textbooks given by government and notes given in some best portals that I find. Okay, so we will start. Higher education system. The Indian higher education sector has witnessed tremendous increase in the number of universities or university level institutions or colleges since independent. Private players account for 60% of the total institute and 64% of the total enrollment of the students. Higher education sector in India has a three-tier structure comprising the university, college, and the course. First, we will start with ancient education in India. In education in India would be divided into the following periods, which are Vedic period, Buddhist period, medieval period, pre-independence India or British India, post-independence India. Characteristics of ancient education system. Okay. Education in ancient India was journey from mortality to immortality and also from chaos to spirituality. The education system was very elaborated and unique and stood out quite prominently, India being rich in cultural diversity and very rich institutions come from Vedas and few texts from Buddhist section. The origin of Vedas could be traced back to the advent of Aryans who supposedly crossed the Hindu Kush mountains and settled in the northern part around 1500 to 10,000 before Christ. Vedas essentially means knowledge. It consists of Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharvana, Vedas. And then four Vedagas: phonetics, grammar, metrics, ritualistic knowledge, and astronomy. 140, 180 Upanishads and Darshan Sastras such as Nyaya, Yoga, Mimamsa, Vedanta, Vaisheshika, Shankhya, Puranas, and Bhagavad Gita. These are our knowledge from ancient book of knowledge from Vedas, Vedangas, Vedangal, Upanishads, and Dharma Sastras, then Bhagavad Gita. The medium of teaching was Sanskrit. The knowledge was passed on orally in a system called Gurukuls, which was purely residential form of teaching, and students have to live at the Guru's place. The knowledge was divided into two broad streams. The Paravidya, which is higher knowledge and spiritual wisdom. The Aparavidya, the lower level knowledge and the secular sciences. Okay, it is divided into two sections, Paravidya, Aparavidya. The Vedic teaching paid a lot attention to the sound of words, padas, and pure oral education given through Chintan, also thinking. The students were admitted based on their moral character and high conduct. The society didn't have much say in the regulations and fees to be charged called Gurudakshana. A ceremony called Upanyana. Initiation, such as initiation, was conducted, and then they reached the age of 5. Formal education will start with the ceremony of Upanyana, by which the child is called to be born again in his Guruscope called Divya Bar. The ceremony was conducted between 8 to 12 years, post which the student is called Brahmacharyan. Brahmachari. It was followed by Utsan ceremony. Utsan ceremony, Medanyana culminating with Samarvardhana. Samavardhana. Medanyana culminating with Samavardhana. Just convocation, final degree such. The practical aspects of life was also taken care by the doctrine of karma held at a higher pedestal. The students of art, literature, and philosophy got a working knowledge in agriculture and other vocations of life. The main aim of teaching was self-fulfillment, intellectual and spiritual, rather than just a materialistic aim. Their objective was to attain salvation or moksha through education or religion. Women education was also not neglected, and they were taught Vedas and Vedangas in limited manner. They were called two kinds. Satyodavas, women who studied till their marriage, and then Brahmavadinis, who re sorry, who renounces marriage altogether and pursue higher study. So, two classes. One either Satyodava, they can study till marriage, and Brahmavadinis, they are not getting married if they wanted to study higher more in ancient system. So Satyodavas, Brahmavadinis. The teacher occupied the pivotal position, and he was a replacement of parents as Gurukul. He was a reformer, guide, moral educator, character builder, a spiritual father, and an inspirer. The aim of ancient education system includes the ultimate objective of moksha, character shaping, imparting religious knowledge, stress on social duties, development of all-round personality, preservation and promotion of rich culture. Education was imparted through three simple ways. Sravana, it's a process of listening to the words coming from the mouth of teacher. Sravana, such as lecture. Manana, rote learning. No. It makes the people think for himself and evaluate the teaching by himself. It is called self-introspection and assimilation of the teaching. Manana. And Nityasana. It is comprehension of truth and applying to the real world. Nityasana. And then Shrutis. Knowledge was practically called as Shrutis. Monastic orders of education. Who can study, who cannot study. That here caste system. The caste system emerged in the later Vedic period and did not exist in pre-Vedic time. Under this, the following were the system of imparting knowledge. Brahmins were imparted knowledge about religion, philosophy, and other subject matters related to priestly advices. The age limit varied from 5 to 16 years. The Kshatriyas were trained in aspects of warfare. The age for them ranged between 6 and 22. The business class, Vaishya, were taught about the trade, and age to gain the knowledge was 8 and 24. The lower caste in the hierarchy, Sudra, was not given any knowledge. Evaluation system, there are three evaluations. There is no evaluation system practically, but how grade were given to students. There have been no significant ideas about how the Acharya used to evaluate the learning levels of the peoples. But as per the Yaskas and Sayanas, who were famous commentators on Rig Veda, conducted from times, these are Mahaprasanan grade, students of highest ability, such as fast learner. Mahaprasanan grade. And then Madhya Prasannan grade, students of mediocre abilities, medium learner, and then slow learner. Alpha Prasannan grade, students of low ability, slow learner. I categorized long ago. So Mahaprasannan, high fast learner, Madhya Prasannan, medium learner, Alpha Prasannan, slow learner. What are the curriculum in ancient times? Anthropology, study of science, study of humans and beings. Astronomy, economics, epistemology, we'll check this. Geology, ethology, human agencies, mathematics, and military sciences. Vedic literatures. There are 4 Vedic literatures we knew. Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharvana, Vedas. Rig Vedas, they consist of 4 literary works. Vedas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Upanishads. Vedas, Rig Veda is the collection of lyrics. Rig Veda, collection of lyrics, oldest in the world. It contains 1028 hymns and 10,580 verses divided into 10 mandals. Okay. I don't think there is any. Okay. Okay. It is only in verse. Please, only in verse. Samaveda, which contains book, which is also called Book of Chants. It had 1549 verses. This Veda is important for Indian music. It is only in verse. Yajur Veda, book of sacrificial prayer. Book of sacrificial prayer. It is divided into 2 parts. Krishna Yajur Veda, Shukla Yajur Veda. Krishna Yajur Veda, Shukla Yajur Veda. It is both verse and in prose. Atharvana Veda, book of magical formula, contains charms and spells to ward off evils and diseases like black magic. The Brahmanas, they explain Vedas. Brahmins, they explain Vedas written in prose and ritualistic in nature. It means sacrifice. Aranyakas means the forest, written by hermits and students living in the jungle. They are concluding portions of the Brahmanas. Upanishads are philosophical in nature, also called Vedanta. They are 108 in numbers. Brihadaranyaka is the oldest Upanishads. Vriddharanyaka is the oldest Upanishad. Vedangas, there are 6 Vedangas. Vedangal. Shiksha. Pratiksha is the oldest text on phonetics. And then 2. Kalpasutras, rituals. Vyakarna, grammar. Vyakarna is known as grammar. Ashtadhyayi, written by Panini, is the oldest grammar in the world. And then Niryukta is etymology. Etymology. That is epistemology. Nigandu is the oldest world collection of difficult words in the world. So here the Ashtatyagi is the oldest grammar dictionary, would say dictionary. Ashtatyagi is the oldest dictionary. Nigandu, no. Here Ashtatyagi is oldest grammar in the world. Yes. Nigandu is the oldest world collection of difficult words in the world. Nigunda is the oldest dictionary in the world. Okay. Nigunda is the oldest dictionary. Nigundu is the world collection of difficult different words in the oldest collection of different words. And then Chanda matrix is Chahunda Sustras. Chand Sustras, written by Pingal, is a famous text. Chand Sutras, written by Pingal, is a famous text. Joshya, and then Josium, astronomy. Vedanta Joshya. Vedanta Joshya, written by Ladak, Lagat Muni, is the oldest Joshya text. Vedanta Joshya. Okay. So we'll further explore tomorrow, and then I will also add sampling techniques. Okay. I also need to add sampling techniques in research aptitude. The random sampling we have that. Okay. So we will meet tomorrow again, and we'll further explore research aptitude and then higher studies. You can join at 8 o'clock for paper 2 software engineering MCQ session.